I don't like that we don't get it. It's Abby with MotorCityNerds. It's Nicole from Two Girls, One Episode. But we're going to talk about this Dyatlov Pass thing in Russia that everybody says is, well, obviously it's based off that shit. Now, I feel like me and Nicole are on differing sides with this situation. So Nicole's going to tell me about the Dyatlov Pass and all the things that went on with it. And I do know. Okay, so I know the basics. I did some time looking into this where I know. So just so you know, I know that they're trained. I know they went to where they had their tent. I know about the tree line, and I know that a group went back and another group went to make the shelter. Split. Okay, and I do know like the little bits of each thing. I just never. I didn't fully go down any one rabbit hole. Is what I'm trying to say.
There's a lot, but also I will say the first time I started reading
it. Keep going.
The whole first time I started reading it, the minute I heard government, that was my initial like thing.
Okay.
It was like that they walked in on a government.
Oh, I don't think that.
Base
I think. Okay.
Like or something like that, and that's how all this happened.
Okay.
But also, I don't know. I do believe the sense of like the final story of what like the scientist who went back out there and said.
Oh, I don't believe none of that shit. You want me to trust
I do.
No.
But also, I mean,
hell no. I don't. Okay. Personally, here's what I kind of think went down. They were really pushing that shit in the media back then. Like they were like, "Oh, Russians go hiking," and then I'm like, "Yeah," but the time period we're in 1959 is very much like space race. Who's better than the last guy? The atom bomb happened, and then it was like, who's got better shit? And it's like we all say we're not working on biowarfare. We are. Everybody is in their basement. We all know that. So I'm like, I think that you just went. Oh, there's some shit. This crew's about to go into the mountains here. Let's test out that thing we have. And whatever that is, whether it's a frequency or something. And then they went, oh, okay, we see what it did. Now send in the cleanup crew. And they sent in Black Ops or whatever. Or these people were in the KGB and they were connected and the CIA came. I don't know. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. But either way, tell me, let's go down. What's your first rabbit hole?
So my first one was similar to what you're saying, like government.
Yeah.
Like, yes, something like they.
So I was like, I can tell the way Nicole's looking at me. She's like, you are not fully understanding this, asshole.
No. Well, the way they're saying the freak snow accident thing on True Detective, how they're saying it, the Dyatlov, I cannot pronounce it. The pass happened in that. That's how they're saying that happened. Which also, the writer of this is she loves the conspiracies on it, and she doesn't believe.
Well, not only that, her dad's a Russian, right?
Yeah, but she also doesn't believe the way that they came up with like the ice slab coming over them. She doesn't believe
I'm not trying to be mean, okay? But I'm like the Ruskies, and that's the other part too. It was like Mother Russia.
Well, did you hear about
all that shit?
They had a bunch of radiation on them.
Yeah.
Well, and they tried to say, oh, these people were around during when did Chernobyl happen?
Chernobyl was after that.
That's what I thought. So they're trying to say they worked there or something, but like you shouldn't have that much radiation as a worker of I would hope not. Why would you be fucking working there? Like,
well, it melted, Nicole. I don't know how safe they are. Coming from somebody who works in a factory, if you think people are being safe, they are not.
No, I know. I go to factories. I get it, but like. Yeah, no, because then they said there was a shit ton of radiation. They kept saying, oh, well, they lived near and around Chernobyl, blah, 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 which, I
heard that the one that supposedly might have been a member of the KGB, they say he worked in a nuclear power plant. And I'm like, okay, there's that. But then somebody said that the people who went and got their clothes were washing them and that the readings they got were bull. I don't fucking know. Keep telling me about the radiation.
Either way, no, their bodies were covered in it. Like when they found them, yes, they all had radiation on their clothes, on their bodies. Like, so that's why they were like, what the fuck? Like, did they walk into like some big radiation government where they're testing shit or radioactive?
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows what the Russians are doing?
Something for the government to come in and say, we got.
You know what I mean? But crazy Russian shit is what when I first started reading that, yes. Or there was another one where they potentially walked in and they set off, it was a missile launch. Ooh. Yeah, like an alarm and missiles went off and they fucking.
That's what I think's going on in True Detective. Like the second you said the frequency thing, I was like, okay, maybe it's either when they get too close and they're like, play the creepy frequency, get them out of here. Like but then I'm like, or are they specifically targeting? Like it's one or the other. Where I'm like, Do you cross an area and they're like, ring, ring, and you go into Nutsoville? Or are they specifically targeting that frequency towards people?
Exactly.
So or whatever it is.
It's a little bit like the Michael Myers or
5 more days till Halloween Silver.
Yes, number 3. It's
the greatest jam of all time. That is
yes, it's similar to that.
Mom says that Baby Shark is that. She said Baby Shark is somehow controlling the children.
Thank God I haven't had to experience that.
And
but I know
it's going to be like Manchurian Candidate. And the second it plays when they're older, we're all going to get, it's going to be like Order 66 and Star. Oh, you don't even know.
Our heads are going to blow up.
Yeah, our heads are going to blow up and snakes are going to come out of it. Season of the Witch is underappreciated. But,
100%.
okay, so.
That's another topic.
Let me ask you this. What do you, out of all the crazy rabbit holes, which one do you like the most? I don't care if it's unbelievable. Which one do you like? Because I know it can't be a Yeti.
The government, not the Yeti. No, I don't ever think there's a.
So Russia sucks because they had to investigate this like 9 fucking times.
No, they did. They had to investigate.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't believe anything you say, Ruski. Okay.
Yeah,
I know. And that's why I'm like,
the slab one.
Some government people going, oh, we can sacrifice our own for Mother Russia, especially in that time until Rocky defeated communism on Christmas Day against Ivan Drago. We all know the story of this. But I'm just saying,
until that day,
it's some government shit. And then I was like, I saw the UFO thing. I didn't even go. I'm like, fuck space. I don't care if something's gonna come and get us. They're gonna come and get us. If not, it's a amoeba. I'm not worried about space, and I think it's boring. Sorry if anybody gets offended by that.
I'm not going out there. Like no, you think going up north is hard to live in? Imagine going to fucking space. There's nothing.
Right. So I saw one thing that said like, oh, UFOs, and I'm like,
I saw that.
How dark it is out there. Not even back then. Now. Do you know how dark it is? And you guys have 1959 cameras. So I'm just saying, like, I could probably go shake my phone around and get some type of photo of the sky that looks like, oh my God, it's a UFO. And I'm like, these people are going, because here's the thing. When it was like, oh, it's so weird how they walked in a line. I'm like, no, that's what you do in the dark. You hold on to each other's shoulders and you be holding on to each other, behind each other to guide each other. So I was like, that part's not crazy to me. The panic at first is the craziness. That's the crazy shit.
Yeah.
And then
what happened? Because they all got like they were like had no clothes on and stuff. So they were just
the chest being smashed in was wild. I was like, ooh, I don't like that.
That's interesting.
And then they said the one dude who had like the most defensive, like I got in a fight wounds was the KGB supposed guy. So I'm like, government. It was either us or them.
Well, and then they even were saying, oh, there was like flesh up in the trees, but it's like
the diaries are weird. No, sorry.
Well, they said flesh up in the trees, but then those one people were trying to start the fire down at the other end. So it's like they probably were climbing up in the fucking trees in the dark and cut themselves.
No, The Burbs and Predator are the greatest things ever created. First of all, thank you so much. No, The Burbs, everybody needs to be watching. I'm so happy. They are. They're great. And let me tell you what, there's a perfect example of investigate that shit. And I could totally see a Predator situation happening and the government not telling us about that either. But
yeah, like they created some mutant crazy shit.
Oh, I
don't think that happened out there, but
I'm just saying. No, but I was like, no, there's no way Nicole's about to tell me she believes a Yeti happened. And now
no. It's the Yeti. No, I don't believe the Yeti. It's either some government thing they walked in on some either like where they were
the government chose to fuck them up, or they walked in and the government was like, whoops a daisy, here we go.
Oops, like you triggered some shit. Yeah, like you triggered some shit that we didn't realize you were gonna do.
I guess I didn't really put fully together that the dude with the same last name of the past. Like, did it get named that after him or before this or after this?
Yeah, I believe it was after it.
Okay, so it wasn't before because I was like, how stupid do you look?
I believe it was after the fact because of all the shit that happened.
You've done motocross your entire life. You were raised by a professional motocross driver. So I'm like, if you had a track named after you, I'm sorry, and you died at it, I might be like, you dipshit.
But wouldn't that be my family's legacy, dude? Come on.
Yeah, I'd be like,
would it not?
Would it not?
Right. My dad hitting a jump and just.
That's what I mean. I'm like,
but he would be happy if that was.
Right. Personally, we'd be like, that was a good way. But I'd be like, you look like a dipshit.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You should know this track like the back of your hand. So I was just like, that's odd. But then I'm like,
designed it.
How come they picked him to name it after? There's like 9 people here. Oh, I'd be pissed if I was dead. I'd be so mad. I'd be like, you picked that out.
I did read about that, but I don't remember that part of it.
Because you made the plan.
I was more interested in like what the fuck went down.
Okay, so yeah, I kind of was concerned, and I wasn't talking smack on Instagram when I was like, does anybody really believe in Bigfoot? because someone who looked like I don't know. I feel like we all lean towards them personally. Like I think Loch Ness might be real. I don't know why I lean towards that, but I do. But I'm not going to sit here and fight with people about it. I'm like,
no,
Loch Ness monsters. There, maybe big thing.
I wouldn't go to Vegas and put my like life savings that didn't exist. But like, if there was like a tour for me to go out on, and I was fucking bored,
a Predator movie in Alaska. Well, there was one in Antarctica. That's what I was talking about, Nicole. Remember in our last life, I was like, if you ever seen Alien vs. Predator, they're digging down into the ice.
Which one is that? Predator, is that the first one?
So that the Predator can fight xenomorphs on their cool thing and have their test, and it's a whole thing, and it's a whole culture. Because I was going to say Predators really wouldn't go to Alaska, but that would be sick. But because of the climate, they come from a very, very hot climate.
I was going to say because the one I came out of like
the top shelf again.
2010, they were in like a jungle.
They're my favorite things, man. I love Yautjas and their culture. I'm all for it. That'd be sick though. But no, okay. So are those the big three though? It's UFOs, Bigfoot, and if there is a Bigfoot or a Yeti, leave him alone.
That too.
Leave him be.
He clearly doesn't want to be around.
We killed it. We killed it already. Like if it's the waters are, I mean, I guess that's a lake, isn't it? That's Scotland. Maybe they kept it safe. But Bigfoot, why are we dicking with you? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, leave him be. Like Harry and the Hendersons.
Just like of all the people,
Harry and the Hendersons, and the same guy plays him and the Predator. But keep going.
Also, like, think of like you dated the hunter guy. Think of all the fucking hunters out there, and no one's got this guy.
Hunter. Keep going.
But you know what I mean? Like, think of just in Michigan alone, how many people go out and hunt?
Yeah.
No one's caught him.
Right. No one's got him. No one's making a spot.
I'm pretty sure he's like a snipe.
I'm pretty sure. Right. No, I made the mistake of talking about snipes to the kids this past summer, and we
got robbed for a little while on it.
As an adult? Oh yeah, well
yeah, because he's from New York. He had when we went up north.
Wasn't it snipe hunting that?
We were all drinking then.
Snipe hunting.
Dude, we were all drinking then, so it was and my dad was around. Come on.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
We almost got him to like go out in the woods with a bag. Like shaking it.
It's always funny. But
it's
either
funny.
way, okay. UFOs, government, and Yetis are the big three for this.
I mean, right? A UFO thing, like, I'm not counting out aliens, but I'm not saying that's what happened. Like, exactly. In this situation.
No, I'm like, if it's aliens, how are we supposed to know?
Why would they, like, I don't think aliens are going to come down and hurt us like that. Like, I think they'd be more like just take you and go, and you're just gone.
If anything is intelligent enough for like travel and to acknowledge other life, like chances are we'd probably be the hostiles. I mean, look at us now. We do it to each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just
don't see them coming down and smashing our chest in and then leaving you there. I feel like they would take the body and be like,
or they're like a dominant thing that are just going to fully suck us dry and we'll be gone. Like I said,
I don't see it as that. The Yeti would be cool. But
now, ice slabs. Now, this is a shift in plates or a storm.
So the theory is when they first got there for their tent, they dug out onto they dug into the snow essentially. So they dug out a section of it.
Are we talking about the crew?
The crew, yes.
Or like the literal tent people.
The original tent people and the
OG
crew,
tent.
Pitched a tent, but where they dug it out on, they're saying it was like built up ice and stuff and an ice sheet
that they picked a wrong spot.
Yeah, and so it slid over while they were all in it, and they quickly, that's how they are saying they got like the chest like smashes because it's so heavy.
But then what?
Well, they jumped out, they're saying, like they started getting smashed and then they got out, I guess, like cut their way out, which I'm like, okay, but how, like, you would be smashed? Like, that's what I'm not getting.
It's not funny, but I'm like,
but then, okay, so like, it is funny because, no, it is funny.
I can barely get out of my tent at Bonnaroo.
That's what I'm saying. So they're saying they cut their way out and then they ran down to that bottom part of the hill where they started the fire. And they're all down there. And then they were like, we got to do something. Some people supposedly died down there.
Fun.
Wait, no, it gets better.
The way we talk about this is as if it's like these people were just like, chill, dude. It's fine. Okay.
Well, no, it gets better because so they already got smashed by one ice slab. So now they're down at the other part. Two of them or something died down there, like they froze.
Yes, no, the two with the
they didn't have enough clothes. So then
they say they were no. I've learned about these two because I kept forgetting to listen and replaying it 75 times. They think they
you do that too.
They were climbing to get dry firewood. They think
yes,
and crack their shit. And then they're like, but these wounds on their heads don't like add to that. So then they think that the other people ransacked their bodies for clothes.
Yes. So they took their clothes, and that's why the other people had other ones clothes on, because they're like, well, we got to stay warm, which, I mean, I'm not joking.
Yeah, right. Let me
say, you got to do what you got to do. So then some of them.
To dispel a theory that the indigenous people. I like how I didn't even think about them. And I'm like, honestly, fuck them up. If you really want to, and fuck them up. I feel like people dick around on your guys' land enough that it's like, I'm feeling froggy today.
What you need to do, people.
You want to know what? It might have been. I don't know, but we're not going to include them.
But no, so the people split up then. So some people are like, we're going to go back to our original campsite.
Now, do you think that there was a fight or a plan?
I think there might have been already a separating of groups.
Imagine getting into a spat in
like
that
cliques
moment
already, and I think two are like, you know how that shit goes.
I know, but in this situation, I think I'd be with people I despise and be like, listen, dumbasses.
Well, the two that went were 2, 3. I don't know. I'm not doing numbers, so I'm probably off. But the 2 or 3 that went the other way, not back to the camp, then went and found another campsite and dug their way into another makeshift cave, which then fucking collapsed in on them again.
Okay.
So they were doomed.
So everybody tell me, what group would you choose? The group that says we're going to, because here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking either you guys had a plan and you guys were like, we're going to go back for supplies and then we'll meet up.
That's essentially, yeah.
And then, but then I'm like, either they just didn't show up and they started to go like, whatever, we're going to live our life now in this other cave that's about to collapse on us. Yeah. Or there was like an argument about where should we go? And then that's when I'm like, if there was an argument, who would you go with? Are we going back to the tent? We going to the tunnel, people? Like, I don't know. But I'm just like, it's weird for both groups. There's what I really think is weird. The bone breaking for certain of ones and the fact that they were in 2 different groups. And I'm like, that's the weird part is that like you guys look like you were making your own little civilization down here. I feel like I feel like hunting and gathering would be an issue, but I think that you guys would have been okay for a little bit longer, but you're not. Which
and also staying as a group, wouldn't you think like huddle together for warmth and whatnot? Like
weren't 2 of them found like wrapped in each other's arms? It looked placed. A lot of these looked placed.
It was very odd. No, it was odd. Like so, like some of the theories, like them getting covered, but also like if you wanted to cover up that, wouldn't you?
Dude, if you didn't kill me with okay, let's pretend for a minute that these are all real ice slab falls. Yeah. If a second one happened and got me, I'd be so pissed. I'd be so mad. I'd be like, we just dodged the other one. Like, what
the fuck? Yeah.
Right. And the way the pictures are weird. The way the snow's on it. But then I'm like, who dug what up? And I don't know what the shit's going on. I'm no scientist.
Well, then the other thing is that's the whole part of True Detective where they're getting it from, because they're trying to say the storm is a freak storm that's coming in and like doing all this. That's where they're getting that storyline.
Oh no, this whole thing 100%. Was based on that. Yeah, 1,000,000,000%. It's just like, but how did they end up that way? Type deal. But freezing and dying, Tommy said it is freezing and dying and having to shout about it is a funny thought morbidly also. Okay, we're not going to get into the Kansas City Chiefs thing because we'll go down a rabbit hole. But when people were saying that shit and they're like, oh, he did this, he did that. I'm like, you guys know freezing to death is like, and that's why I like that they kept bringing it up in the show.
Like drowning, isn't it nice?
No, drowning is awful. Drowning is terrible.
I don't want to
death is nice.
I just want to die myself.
At first it sucks, but you feel warm at the end. You go to sleep. And like I was saying, I'm like, it sucks, but I would much rather think of somebody passing that way than like in other terrible, awful ways.
There's a lot worse ways to go.
A billion, like in pain, cancer-ridden, everything. And then it's like, it sucks.
Murdered.
Right. Going to sleep and being kind of, no joke, this happened to my mom's friend last winter. Her daughter was totally normal, 25 years old, went outside with her friend to make a phone call out of a house party. They died. They weren't on drugs. They were drinking, but not like absurd. Yeah. They froze. And there were 40 people inside. And they were like, they were sitting out on the porch making a call. And it's like, imagine being all drunk. It's like you can die or start to go to sleep or feel warm, depending on the temperature, in like 14 minutes or like 11 minutes. Imagine I go out to smoke or something and you come with me and it's like, okay, and then we feel fine. And then it's like, okay, now you're gone. And it's like, but none of this, like I said, I'm worried about frostbite and shit. Didn't seem like these people are that concerned about that.
No. Well, they were dudes.
No, there was 2 women with them.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was what I was gonna say too. That's too. I was like, do you think there was some weird shit with that? Why they split up? Because
they claimed one was banging Dyatlov or
that's
something.
why I was like,
but then they made
involved.
do you know how? If they don't need to, Nicole, like unless it was like an assault, don't go letting people inspect my lady junk. Like, don't. What the fuck? Because they made a point. I thought that was weird. They made a point to be like, she died an intact virgin, and I'm like, so the Dyatlov banging or whoever the person in charge planning it, like banging wasn't true. And I'm like, yeah, but you would say that. Like culturally, you guys are more like ladies need to be pristine. Perfect. And I'm like, I will bang who I want. Like, I don't give a shit. Just let's not have
I did forget about that.
I don't want to be on a billboard when I die. Like Abby banged people. I mean, it's a given, but like you don't even know about it. Jesus Christ. But that's why I'm like, okay. Once you started bringing this up with True Detective, I was like, no, this makes the most sense. Like we've been saying with the show, there's for every unnatural thing going on, like a man-made noise per se that makes people go crazy on the ice. If that's man-made, there has to be a natural one too. What would that natural one be? Oh, whispers from the other side, or nature, or if you're a Game of Thrones fan, kind of like the Children of the Forest, where it's like a babbling brook and it's nature talking to you. You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh. So we have this man-made noise, but I still think they're Batman Begins in the water. I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
But I'm like, I don't know. Do you think that one of those Dyatlov people did it to them, like an inside job? But why?
If the KGB guy, wouldn't you think it would be
him?
I think
this Clark in the show is a good guy. I think that people who are more, I don't know the term to use because people are like getting crazy with it now. I'm like, more spiritual, but like the more blue they're wearing. And I think specifically that Clark dude, like I was saying, they kept dropping Irish. They're like Dublin, Ireland, Dublin. And I'm like, okay, well, that's me. And let me tell you, even over here in Raised, it's a very close to the other side work culturally. Like they're very like, we don't fuck with fairies and fae and shit, like that Elf on a Shelf stuff. I don't never know. Not like that in my house. But it's just like, it's a culture that's very much like that. And I'm like, I think people that are more in tune with their spiritual magic, whatever side, are less susceptible to that noise or this drug or whatever. And that's why they are all jacked up, Otis, Clark, but they live. And I'm like, it's either a strength they have or a weakness. And they end up all jacked up like this. I don't know what you'd call it. Because I really like that line.
Think you're right.
Well, I wouldn't have thought about this because I was like, oh, that would explain the whispering and I will stand 10 toes tall on this. The she's awake. None of this is scary. None of these dead people. The she's awake. Like the other side Anders and Navarro wake up, come and do the shit because it's just like Pet Cemetery. Like I said, several times they get warnings and it's like, oh, you're creepy and you're scary. But none of these dead people and none of these whispers and shit are harming our characters. They're just going, get on this shit. And I'm like, okay, so it's not, I don't think it's bad. I think we're made to think it is. And I do think they're throwing in other things like weird screechy noises that we think are screams because of the environment. And it's dark and it's scary. And I'm like, I don't know. I like it, but I feel like now more than ever, there's like lashback. And I'm like, oh, what did you guys expect? I guarantee you, and I'm not talking shit, I guarantee you more men are going like, we have to know where the spirituality shit comes from. Because men are less likely and less susceptible. Yes. That's why that polar bear ain't coming to Pete.
Exactly.
He knows about polar bears. He keeps bringing them up. He's wearing them on his shirt. Like
he's aware.
He's aware, but doesn't realize it. But the women are seeing it. And now more than ever, when you said that earlier, I was like, oh yeah, mama bear is a term for a reason. Have you guys ever seen the movie Brave? And she turns into a bear, the mom. Bears and moms are represented in many cultures. And that's why I'm like, that's why you went to Navarro, because Navarro might not be a mom, but she called her sister baby girl. She raised her sister like she was her mom. She's a woman, yada, yada, yada. Jodie Foster. And then I was thinking maybe it's literally Pete's mom as a spirit, but then I'm like, no, I think this is a real bear. I think it's just.
No, I think it's a bear.
I think it's a literal bear.
I think the bear is trying to tell Jodie, you need to open up to the other side, like how Navarro has finally. Like you need to accept this, like how she's denying it. And being like, this doesn't exist. The bear is trying to tell her, you need to.
No, well, that's part of it. And then I'm like, oh, King Arthur, Harry Potter, Gandalf. This is a white animal showing itself to our heroes. Now, Tommy says his big theory is in the night country is under Salal. Clark never left Salal. No, he's underground running around. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Tunnels. lead back to a secret hatch ladder thing. Yes. I cannot wait to go under the ice because, like I was saying, when everybody kept saying Sedna, I'm like, you're not wrong. I get what you're saying. No, I'm going Stephen
That's
King.
why everyone keeps killing themselves with the ocean.
Fuck them.
But that's where that's referring back to.
No, fuck that. I don't give a shit about that. Go off in the ice. That's been a thing in Alaskan and Arctic culture for years. Fuck that. I'm going with Shardik in the Dark Tower because his name prior to that was Mir. And by the tribal people, that meant the world beneath worlds. The saying about that guardian protector of the good of nature, Shardik, is all worlds are, see the bear of fearsome size. All worlds are held within his eyes. Now, what worlds are you talking about? The underworld, the spiritual world, and our world, or literally a multiverse are in his eyes? What are you saying there? And then, like I said, his name meant the world beneath worlds. And so I was like, oh, we're going underground. Here we go. We're going underground.
Which we're doing.
We're going down. And I'm like, I'm geeked to see what's down there because I know everybody and I know you too and me too. We were like, it's a machine. There's machines. They're machines. And I'm like, no, there's going to be machines.
There's going to be something.
Now, okay, I'm sorry to cut you off. I didn't mean to because I really thought that was great earlier when I said it. I was like, have you been watching our lives? If you've been listening to my reviews, I talk about how the natural and the unnatural are the whole thing here. Now, what do they say in Jurassic Park? What you call discovery, I call the rape of the natural world. Okay, what are they doing? Discovering, but what are they literally doing with the mind? Digging into it. Oh, kind of like taking an object and shoving it into a hole without it wanting to be there. Oh, you're raping the world literally. You are literally raping Mother Earth right now. And so I was just like, oh, now Mother Nature is fighting back. And it might take 2 years, it might take millennia, but eventually it does fight back.
Yeah.
It's the last March of the Ents, but in cop form. But keep going. What were we talking about? Bears. Sedna. No, you can tell me about Sedna.
Oh no, well,
it's right, or a woman that turns into a bear.
It's a dad. The theory, it's the drawing the little boy Darwin drew that the grandma told him about. Essentially, it's a myth that this man, and it goes back to this whole series being about women led and women being, just put down in the world because this girl.
Yeah, no, I'll throw this in real quick. It's really funny how today many female things in mythology everywhere. A lot of the big ones, Medusa, all of them, they turn into a banshee. Scary, bad, negative connotation.
This is essentially what this is.
Well, really, it might not have started out that way, and it's because you fucked ladies over. But keep going.
Well, no, this is the same thing. So it's a girl who gets killed by her dad by him throwing her in the ocean. But before he does it, he cuts off her fingers, and those turn into he throws them in the ocean, and they turn into little monsters and stuff.
Yes,
that's why Darwin. I keep saying Holden. Darwin draws that picture with the.
Oh, fingers. That lady don't have fingers. That crab lady. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think of that. But yeah, so that's why when he draws that picture of the no fingers bleeding, that's what that is essentially.
I think Darwin's dead already. I kind of thought about that last night. I'm like, I knew we were in trouble with Darwin.
You haven't seen him
on screen.
An episode or two?
I think there's a reason that.
I don't know what happened to my screen.
Yeah, what just happened? Are you okay?
I don't know.
Oh, I think that there's a reason Kayla wants Pete away from him. I said from the jump, there's something up with, they want Darwin. Somebody, what? Are you alive?
I don't know what's up with. No, I'm there. I don't know why it's doing that. Nothing changed. I didn't move.
I don't know, but I think they're.
Oh, there you go.
No, I think they're. I've been saying that Darwin's been in trouble from the jump, and then I was like, I don't like Kayla. And then I'm like, I think that if you don't get, maybe the babies are safe. I don't know. There's something going on with wanting the infants, and I think that they want this specific people's genetic code. Anybody looking for the elixir of life and shit?
It is a unique thing I did read about the genetic code part because
I'm telling you, I thought there was Roach. You know how he is. So I was like, this is interesting as fuck. And I was talking all about it. And then I was like, and then somebody left that comment going, and I'm like, they evolved differently from everybody. Because I was like, why did their skin complexion? The farther you get away from the equator, the whiter you get. They didn't. So I was like, that's interesting. So I looked at it, the way they absorb melanin, different from everybody else. I knew about having the extra teeth, but they evolved differently from everybody else in the world. And, and them and what Roach is, Aboriginal, are two of the oldest civilizations that exist. And so that's why I was like, hey, did you know this interesting shit? And he's like, Abby, stop talking to me because I'm a person of color. And I'm like, no, I know you're going to think this is interesting. And he's like, no, it is. And then he's like, that's actually really cool. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, and then somebody said, no, they came here because they want this specific. I thought they wanted to go there because it was a thin place, like maybe connected to the other side easier, which we still think.
Nope.
But And then I was like, no, they do. They want these people's genetic shit to do something nasty with, and I don't like it.
Well,
but
if you think about it too, the
you
native
no babies, are you keep going?
They've evolved with global warming way better than we all have. Like the way they just adapt to like the ice melting. They just adapt to the heating up
better than
They adapt a lot better than like us in fucking the cities.
Okay.
That's a known thing, I guess. Like
that's wild.
Like,
but
think about it. If
it's a story.
Well, think about it. How native they live off the land. Like, if they get a bad winter, they just deal with it.
No, I literally mean like evolution, like having extra teeth and shit. That's crazy.
No, that's what I think that goes into it. Like all of it is a big. I think
wild.
they're
also. Remember, he said I didn't kill Annie K. I just moved around. Kate is also Clark being out there because they know Clark didn't do it. Yeah, right. No, Clark's a good guy. Clark's a good guy for sure, and that's why I'm like that's some bullshit. But no. I keep forgetting. And did they say this out loud, or is this person commenting just telling me this? Did they say that the holes in Annie K were from spiked ice boots and we're dumb? Because that's the most interesting part to me, where they were like, we don't know what this weapon is. And then I was like, maybe it's a pickaxe, an ice thing. And then somebody was like, somebody's left 2 comments, and I love it, and I fucking should know the name. And they
read
like,
the comments you said.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awful.
I'm not sure, but that makes a lot of sense.
Well, here's my thing. I'm like, okay, I don't know. We stand by Rose as not running shit. She could be a Tuttle, but we're not going to get into that right now. She could be Rust's mom. She could be both, but we do not think that. Would Russ Cole's dad be chilling with the lady running that shit? I don't think he'd be cool with that. Or did he find out and did he find out about her and really he never had leukemia and you chucked him into the ice? I don't know, but I don't feel it from her. Just like how we knew about Pete. Like, I just don't, I think women are running everything, and I think that's going to be the flip to it. And that's the thing, too. All the people hating on it now for going, like, it's female-led and banned. I was like, there's a reason for that. The theme's going on. Motherhood, being a mom, the babies. Like, there's a reason for that, stupid idiots. And on top of it, I think it's about female intuition with the spiritual shit. But also, I'm just saying, I bet you they'll feel real different next week if they find out women are the bad guys and it's not a big, scary, predatory man. And then they're going to go, oh, no, we like the show.
Yep.
Oh no, it's the best one. It's the best one since season 1 now because we're not saying men bad, women good. And I'm like, oh yeah, God,
exactly.
We do something, but I'm just like, I like it, but I don't think Rose is the head honcho for sure.
No. On your comment though earlier about how you said you think they wanted to throw like Leah to the forefront, like how Annie K. Do you think Leah's going to be the one that dies then?
I think that Leah is being groomed by Kayla. And I think
for sure she is. But do you think she's going to be the one that dies then? And because
now you said something when we first went. Can I just state that I opened my first review for episode 1 with, did anybody else get a biblical vibe off those caribou running over the edge? Like the pigs of Jesus? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe call it a day. But when we went down our Catholic rant, it was because we were talking about something, and then we were like, remember, everybody, we were raised Catholic. And then people in the chat were like, oh, us too. And then we were joking, and then we went down the rabbit hole, and then we figured out the entire show off of it, which is
essentially
wild. But what were you just saying? Kayla, Leah, fucking A. There was a reason I was bringing up the religious shit, because I was like, oh, and then Nicole says, maybe it'll be 3, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Darwin, Hank, and Pete will die. And I was like, oh shit, that might be it. Because we were also, Nicole brought this to my attention. She goes, oranges have always symbolized death, Abby. Look at the Godfather. And we were like, oh shit. And then Nicole goes, yeah, this, that, and the other. She goes, 3 oranges fell onto the ice. I think 3 people are going to die. And I said, okay, how many oranges is Vito buying? And then I thought, is it 3 or 2? And then we found out it was 2. He drops the 2 oranges onto the ground. And at the end, when he dies with his grandson, for real, he's peeling an orange and putting the peelings on and playing with his grandson. But he drops 2. Who dies in the main family in the first Godfather? Sonny and Vito. And so I'm like, oh, shit, Nicole. I think you're onto something. It might be 3. But then I'm like, I don't think they'd take another child from Danvers. I don't think they'd put her through that twice.
Too, and that's why I don't think it's going to be Danvers, because I don't think they're going to leave Leah alone.
No, they're going to kill Danvers.
It's going to be Navarro.
Danvers dying for sure.
I don't think so.
I think it's either going to be Danvers and Navarro, or
I think it's going to be Navarro, and she's going to reunite with her family because they want her to be with them.
But then you were right. You were like, what's the flip side to Father, Son, Holy Spirit? You were like, Navarro's mom and her sister and her.
Yeah, and her. And I think it's going to go that way.
I think you might be right with that.
I think it's Navarro. I don't think they're going to let Liz leave Leah to be just on
she'd have Pete.
I know. That's true.
Yeah.
I
Pete's
forget.
Gonna make
it.
Pete is going to make it. Pete is going to make it.
Treat her just like his own, like his sister.
Blood.
Like, yeah.
His dad, Hank. Oh, blood. Blood don't mean shit. That's my family.
Do you think Pete knows more too than he's leading on, and that's too why he was like,
no, idiot.
Yeah,
he's our golden boy.
He's our golden boy. I was looking up jerseys, dude. You can't find those jerseys. Like, I mean, they have.
I emailed the team directly.
Okay, good, because like you can get them on eBay, but they're like there's like kids ones and then like one adult.
They really exist. I think they were like used to be a minor league team, but I emailed.
They were. No, they're legit. They're like it's called the
Alaskan Aces.
It's the EHL league or something along those lines. Something, yeah.
I emailed whoever was running their official account. I was
like, I want a jersey. I was gonna wear one of my hockey jerseys here, but I was like, it's not the same team.
I don't think I was gonna say I have my Red Wings. I mean, we all have Red Wings jerseys.
We all have Red Wings. That's what I was gonna rock.
Yeah.
What else?
No, I'm just like, oh God, and then I thought if that bear would have shown itself to Pete, I would have been like, that your mom really did die, and that's her spirit. And I'm like, but no, they wouldn't go there.
You have to remember too, I guess. If you look, the polar bear has one eye. The patch,
the doll they have has one eye. But
patch had one eye too. I guess.
Fearsome size. All worlds are held within his eyes. You're fucking around with the spirit world, so one eye is damaged. I guarantee you, at the end of this, if they solve part of it or stop the mine or whatever, that we're gonna see that bear one more time. Its eye's gonna start to look healed, and it's gonna go walking off majestically onto the fucking ice. That's going to be the final shot. The final shot of this is going to be that bear walking off with a healing eye.
Yeah.
But, God, we need to save polar bears, by the way. But, no. I'm like...
I got one, remember?
What?
My polar bear. Nook.
Oh, yeah, your own one. Not own one, but...
They own it.
They my mom... Yeah, it has a turtle, right?
My mom has a turtle. I have the polar bear.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Katie has, I think, a penguin. Basically, you, like... adopt them and you can watch where they go.
Well, and your donation. Where's your polar bear at? We should do polar bear watch.
Let me see.
What's his name?
Nook.
Oh yeah, Nook of the North. I forgot. Yeah,
he's pretty cool.
No. I'm telling you, man. I really like this. I do. I don't know what I didn't. I guess I didn't realize the discourse because me and you were
just like out chilling.
Oh, what's he doing? What's he doing? Oh, he's making he made a heart for Valentine's Day.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, he's like iceberg or something.
Can you text him? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
can you tell us about your friend? Tell us about your friend. Now, do you want to watch the upcoming trailer? I mean, I've already watched it, but I haven't
I did too. Yeah,
but I'm like, we can watch it real quick. We can crank it out. Just
so you know, Nook is a mother.
Stop it. I thought Nook was.
She's got 6. No, it's a female.
So you're telling me that stop it. You're telling me that there's 7 total, 7, the most powerful magical number.
6 cubs, and she did have.
And her?
She had twins.
7.
Yeah, 7.
7 is the most powerful magical number. 7 dead bodies are out on the ice.
Yeah, how cute.
Oh shit. Okay, well let's see if I can make this work.
Yeah, no, I did watch some of it. The opening scene, I'm like.
Okay, well that way I can like control it too. If I'm like, let's see if I remember how to do this. Is this us? Oh shit.
Yeah,
okay,
there it is.
Second. Let me go over here. And I hope like the sound and stuff isn't whatever. Let's just do this.
Should be all right.
Tell me, like, yell at me pause if you want me to pause it. Oh, our angel boy. Blue.
Please.
Blue. Wait, I'm gonna say something. Let me come back. So she's fully back in blue now.
And she's wearing an orange hat.
Well, we ain't with that orange girlfriend no more.
Orange hat on Navarro. She's gonna die.
Oh, you might be right about that. I did think that was weird. I thought it was weird. She was wearing. Nope. See, Leah's back in the fold. No, you might. God damn it, Nicole! You took my own theory against me. Yeah, she's in all white. They're both going.
Should never have touched this case. There is something out there calling me.
I don't like that.
I don't do water.
No.
Mm-mm.
He's looking after this, right? Shut up,
No.
Max. Nobody likes that you changed your name. Okay, you just took my own theory and flipped it on me. But Orange would be like the evil. That's why I'm like, if she dies, she is going to be the Saint James. Two people died by Jesus' side. Peter, number onesies, her most loyal. Oh, the one who lived on. Jesus knew you got the most balls to like speak your shit and do the shit that I wanted and carry my legacy on. That's going to be Pete. That's going to be our Pete. Yep. Then I was like, okay, well, if we change that up, only 2 disciples were by his side when he actually died. And that would be James. And I'm like, what happened to James? He's the first martyr. Jesus dies, little down the road, Peter and James end up in a situation. James says, get the fuck out of here, Pete. I got you. Gets Peter out of that situation so he can go and start the church like Jesus wanted. And then James gets beheaded. But he dies a martyr and it makes everybody pop off. And they're like, oh, now we're really coming for you because they died on their own terms and like for a cause. And I'm like, so if Navarro does die, it ain't going to be in no like creepy ritual way. It's going to be in a like, I'm going out on my own motherfucking terms and I'm going to bring light to all the shit going on here. And it's going to light a fire under their ass. So I'm worried.
No, I agree.
And I think this fits into my Dark Tower shit. Because remember when I said I was like, I'm going to put out my Dark Tower video and how it's all the same with True Detective. And then I was like, shit, season 4 is coming. How will it fit in? And then I was like, here's where it fits in.
It all fits in.
Wizard and Glass. Nobody survives in that. Only Roland of Gilead, which would be Pete. His whole crew dies. And but he lives on to carry on the message back to his dad. And, well, not his dad. It's a whole thing. But I'm like, shit.
I think it's Navarro.
Right into my Dark Tower theory,
I'm just saying, I think it's Navarro. I think she's going to go.
She's dying for sure. She's in all white. She's Jesus.
They're calling for her, like the dead, like how Rose even said.
They take you. They're there to tell you something, or they're what is it? They're there to say they miss you. They miss you.
Yeah.
But I think that's Holden reaching out to her, right?
Well, I think that's her mom.
You have a tattoo on the other hand. I thought that was Holden.
I think it's her sister and her mom.
Eventually, she has to tell Danvers, like, your son came to me. But like I said,
Liz doesn't believe in that, so she's going to tell you.
It doesn't matter. In this world, we don't have. It's not Harry Potter. It's not Jon Snow. They're not going to come back from the dead. Those are the Jesus figures in those. If it's Danvers and she's got Peter and James by her side, she'll pass with them with her, and she'll rise again. Per se, but with her husband and son finally. Because remember what Rust Cole says, because everybody's like, supernatural what? And I was like, it's been going on. Rust Cole comes back and tells Marty, I could feel them. I wanted to go with them. Yeah. I could feel my dad. I could feel my daughter. And it wasn't this big thing. It was just them, their energy. I could feel it. And I could have let go and went with them. So we know that's there in this world from season 1. And I'm like, that would be her Jesus rising again moment. Is if she gets, but then again, that fits for Navarro.
That's what I'm telling you. And she has the orange on.
But it ain't Pete.
It's not Pete.
No, Pete's gonna get betrayed hard as shit. That's why I'm like, either by Kayla or by Leah. Someone's taking Darwin somewhere.
Do you think Leah's gonna walk in though on the cleanup? There? Because that's her house. And she's supposed to be, I think, at Kayla's, right? Because it's New Year's Eve and she didn't want to come home.
It's still
I think she's going to walk in and she's either going to have to decide, I bet you, to help Pete.
If it happens on New Year's Eve night, I'm going to be like, don't say we didn't tell you. We're not going to get into it. Don't say we didn't tell you.
She's 100%, I think, about to walk in.
It all happens on New Year's Eve. Rebirth, restart, renew, Voldemort's birthday. New Year's Eve has a huge significance. Yep. I'm like, I was wrong about the solstice. But if this is, they screw us up. They screw us up using this nightimeness. I don't know what day it is.
I'm all messed up on it.
Yeah. Oh shit. Here we are.
Remember the tongue.
Danvers should have brought up how their theory doesn't explain how Annie's tongue was at Slough. Right. And do you want to know how does it stay so preserved? But then I'm like, it's pretty cold out there. But I'm like, or are you using weird sciencey or elixir of life shit on it?
Yeah.
Or the clothes or Annie's phone. Shut up. No, I think that, I totally get what you're saying, and I agree. But I think that instead of using, they've done it with Purple Haze, using his Alzheimer's in season 3. In season 1, we have it in all these different years, so we can flash back and forth around all of them. Here, we are using the visions as a way, as an audience, to go, this is how we're finding these things and seeing certain things. And that can be really smart if you do it right. And I'm like, okay, cool. I think we're going to get a few more visions here, and or whatever they find is going to fully explain that. I think that the frequency thing or whatever made them lose it, I don't know. The folded clothes shit is weird, and all that shit is weird. But this show does some things to make us go, huh? And then other things we're like, okay, now we really don't care about finding that. Like, we don't really care about finding out about the catfish because Hank's dead. So who cares?
Exactly.
Even though, yeah, I think you and Kayla are weird, but I don't know. But like, I guess
but it was weird.
If it factored into his death, I guess kind of because he needs money. But I think Hank probably would have blown his money either way and needed it. I think he would have taken the money either way from the mine lady. So fuck him. But now it doesn't really matter who's catfishing him because.
It is weird though. They had to call out as a Russian bride. Like, I know that's common.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that. Oh yeah,
that's
a common thing. No, like I said,
it's common.
That's what things do. I always try to tell people this. Like when somebody said, "How do you know none of the miners drink water?" And I'm like, they probably do. What I'm saying is the person making the show only has us seeing them drinking beer every time we see them, which tells us the person making the show wants us to hear that. So even if something's small, especially here, like I was saying, them going Clark's from Dublin, Clark's from Dublin. I'm like, okay, so you want us to know he's Irish specifically. And then when the tattoo lady's on the phone with her and is like, I think he was English or some shit. And she's like, no, Irish. I'm like, no, yeah. And that's a culture that is so into the spirituality and close to that thin place that I'm like, maybe you were protected a little bit from this noise and you are jacked up, but whatever. You guys know what we're talking about. The Christmas tree is the weirdest part. The Christmas tree at the dredge is the weirdest part.
Ears bleeding is what's not getting me, because that's where I got the noise thing. Because that's what would make your ears bleed, like or pressure changes. You know.
Oh yeah, that happens.
I mean, that is a thing. Like if you're on a plane and that shit just.
No, you're right. No, I didn't think about that. But no, the Christmas tree itself is weird.
Yeah. No, that was fucking very weird.
An addict would be like, I'm not. Why are we decorating the dredge?
That was in the middle of nowhere. Like, how the fuck did you get that out there?
I was thinking, is it even there? Or are we just seeing it? And she's sitting like a little kid on Christmas Eve in front of a Christmas tree that, like, in her head.
Is it there?
That's not really there. Or maybe there's a tree or some shit, but it ain't, like, lit up the way we see it.
That's true.
I don't know. But I've been noticing that the Christmas trees don't have a lot of red or orange in them when you see them, especially when they're fuzzy. They all look bluish. The one in the bar.
Oh.
And like I said, maybe I'll make an official statement here. The boyfriend, he really got me last episode. But he has officially left my evil list. And he's made it to there's no possible way you don't know shit because you benefit off these mine workers and you pays your bills. And you're like a bootlegger. You're hearing everything. People vent to their bartender, all that shit. You know shit. I think that your bar is specifically used as a hub. There ain't shit in small town. There ain't shit in Alaska. That's where everybody's hearing all the info and you're passing it in and out. And I think he knows everything. I think the boyfriend knows absolutely everything and is trying to keep Navarro safe. But that doesn't make it to my good list. That makes it to the I know what's going on, but I'm turning the other way list.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Connolly too. Obviously. Dude, Nicole, if I killed 2 people in my house, even for a good reason, and I'm going, call so-and-so, call so-and-so, call so-and-so, still, Danvers was still saying call Connolly. Yeah. Killed him. I was like, that means, like I said, in that scene in the mine when she goes, what happened to you? She's disappointed. You used to be a good cop. When I met you, I knew it. A woman's dead out there, Connolly. Obviously, when we met, that was something you'd care about.
Well, and he clearly helped her cover up that.
But still, you're a scumbag turning the other way. I mean? So I'm like, Connolly, boyfriend, they're all in the same bubble for me. But the boyfriend at first was on and I know he knows some shit's up with that homebrew.
I know he did. No, because they were so adamant about it. Like, you want some homebrew? Like, episode 1 and 2. Homebrew. Want some of my homebrew?
And what? Whoa, Vicky's here. Hi, all the Christmas tree at Pete's house. Yeah, a million, because Pete's so bright, shining in the dark.
Yeah, Pete's amazing.
Pete's good. Team Pete. They could come out and say he's the Yellow King. I'm going to support Pete.
Imagine if his Christmas tree was just all yellow.
Yeah, if you look at all like I don't know, and I'm like maybe the boyfriend
too obvious.
Is safe, but no, I'm telling you, you might be right about that orange shit with Navarro, and I'm like. They'll make me sad.
It's bringing.
But
it's telling you
Danvers isn't all white, which gives me Jesus vibes. So I'm like, I think they're both dying.
I guarantee we're gonna see a scene when we just saw Liz drop in the ice. Pete's gonna come because she's gonna fall in the current and he's gonna hack away like his dad did and save her. I bet you. Remember when his dad said on the hockey?
No, and back to the polar bear. Back to the polar bear majestically walking off. That's when Pete's finally gonna see it. Danvers and Navarro might not make it, and then Pete's finally going to see the polar bear with its healing on.
Liz, I'm telling you, Liz is going to make it. I'm telling you.
She's the Jesus, man. But then again, it could be Navarro. You're right. It fits.
I think it's Navarro.
Fuck
me. You think maybe Rose did kill his dad and Navarro helped her cover it up?
And Rust never found out. Rust Cole never found out you killed his dad.
True, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying here. When people are saying that shit, I'm like, remember the family. And look we still haven't even brought up the fact that your uncle is still alive in that town.
Mm.
And like I said from the jump, when he's talking to Navarro, and he goes, no, you hated Annie K. And he's like, you can tell he looks at her like, I'm not going to fight with you because I'm not about to blow my spot up. But I'm looking at her. He's looking at her like, you're all wrong. But I'm not going to fight with you because I'm not trying to make a spectacle and have people notice me. We got Rust Cole's uncle chilling out up there and shit.
So I'm like,
yeah, man. And I'm like, remember what family we were talking about here? And everyone wants to say his dad is dating the Carcosa queen.
True.
And I highly doubt those guys, the men running that shit anywhere, would be like, oh, yes, let's have a lady in charge of us.
Exactly, yeah.
But here in this specific thing, women are in charge of it. It's going to be some Ghislaine Maxwell shit. It's going to be some...
I agree.
I want to... Leah, kill your girlfriend.
I think you said the girlfriend was taking her there to make her essentially like the new Annie K. Like they wanted.
Everybody else is there. Everybody else is there. How come we're not
her
going?
Her mom's the head of the police, so she's never going to get in trouble. We can just put her out there.
Oh, no, the second she walked into that meeting, it was like, look at this big fish we got. It was like, oh, the police chief's daughter. Everyone's welcome here.
Exactly.
That's some cult shit. You're saying, and like I said, they're hiding behind the activism. And I think that is a big thing, and we all go, yeah, that's
They did a really good job, like you said, at the protest, though, because they left them being very peaceful, which is very true about Native protests. They're never
Nobody's doing shit.
No, it's always the police that come in and start roughhousing them.
Well, here's what I tell people all the time. Here's what I say to people all the time, no matter what it is, whether it's a protest or anything. Yeah. People are people, and mob mentality is very real. Yeah. So the second someone starts swinging or kicking or throwing, all of a sudden the energy's already going, and it's now we're going. And then once shit happens, it's like, well, now we're all just trying to get out of here, pushing each other, shoving, and then it's chaos, and it's a very real thing.
Well, then it's fight or flight.
What? Yeah, right. But it's like I back going out when I had an issue with Eric and them. I'm like, I'm not worried about all these people separately. I was like, I'm not going because I know he beats up ladies. And I know I could beat his ass, but mob mentality is very real. And if you're with 8 other dudes who don't like Abby, it might turn into, okay, I don't normally beat up ladies, but he did it, and now he did it, and now all of a sudden I'm getting my head stomped in. And I was like, that's a
mob
real thing. Like, because everyone's like, you're not going to go. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go. Because I might be able to take that asshole, but I'm not going to be able to take 9 of them if they decide to go mob mentality on me. And I'm not, and normally they wouldn't do something like that. But no, they shot that beautifully. I want to know what the mine is doing. Like, I think they're actually working, but I'm like, what are you working for? We haven't said
what do they have these guys signing so that they're shutting the fuck up? And like, what are their bills?
Money.
Like, I know money,
but like, why is everybody at Ford not talking about me being gone?
I'm just like, oh my, how much money?
Abby, you're being stalked, and a man was screaming he was going to rape you every night, and nobody says nothing. We're all turning the other way. Like, because they need to pay their mortgage. I don't blame them.
Are they throwing the people that do talk down the damn hole?
Would you really fuck with people you know have connections like that?
No.
My mom worries about me all the time. She says all the time, she's like, the shit you're talking about Ford can get you hurt. I'm like, I know.
I'm aware.
I'm very aware. I know that it could affect people's jobs. Yeah. And shit. But it's like,
I want to know
but that's what we're saying. That's why they want Leah seen. We're not talking about you all being there, but when you show her face at the gate close, and then you show her there close, and Danvers knows how she is. I'll take that fight to your face. It might be the right fight, but I'm going to be seen. And so it's like, oh, look it. Now we have an excuse to go, well, Annie K was at all that activism shit. And it's like, so were 75 other people. But if you make them so prominent.
Exactly.
That's what they're doing. There's a small group in this activist group that ain't noble. And they're going, yeah, get out there. Yep. Get out there to the front. Be seen out there. And then it's like, and then everybody goes, when they die, they go, Well, the miners would have had a problem. The cops had issues. They had issues. Oh, you were in a fight at a Now it's like, oh, yeah, I remember her face because it was right here at the gate.
It was everywhere.
That's her little girlfriend hiding in the corner like a weasel. Yep. What a weasel.
Dude, that was the worst.
We never looked at it again?
She watched her getting beat up.
Right. Bullshit.
And then she was like,
never. I have not gone back to listen to that conversation because is that her mom? Because they're at a lawyer's office when Danvers goes to talk about the sex tape. And now I've said this before, Leah might be like 18-ish, but she's still young. So
I think she's
I'm not saying who pushed who to make a video, but I'm like, where's it going? Was it for you? Was it going to tunnel people? For them to be creepy and weird? Or was it for them to look at Leah and be like, are you good specimen to be used for our shit? You know what I'm saying? Was it to target Leah because you want her? Or was it to be creepy weirdos who want tapes of little girls?
It's true.
But they don't meet at her house. They meet at a lawyer office. And I don't know. I can't remember the woman that Danvers is talking to. And I'm like, I don't know if that's her mom or like legal representation.
Same. They never really clarified whom it was.
No, I'm like, who's that lady? We need to hone in on her.
Well, because you remember too, the only season they don't bring up the Carcosa symbol is 2. 3 it's in.
I'd argue that, but keep going.
They show it in his interview.
Yeah,
no, they show it and they say it's affiliated with pedophiles.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And I don't trust that documentarian in season 3, just so you all know. But
no, I hated her. I was like.
That's why I don't trust Mahershala Ali's son.
She's a rat.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Yeah, I think she might be going in to kill Rustin.
Yeah.
Marty. But anyway, that's a whole other made up thing.
No, I think you're right. The symbol now is the original symbol, and it has transformed into the Carcosa symbol that we've seen in 1 and
Yes, and everybody said I was wrong in my first review.
No, that's right.
I was like, no, everything is like that. If you can, I have where the fuck?
Dude, your symbol.
I have a painting of where where is it? 1 second, give me a second.
The symbol today looks like your nephew. If you were like, hey, draw this Carcosa symbol.
Natural, one looks natural and organic and slimy, and one looks rigid, like a fucking machine made it. Now, Abby, somebody painted me this. Now, there's a whole bunch of symbols and shit on here. Now, you could say, oh, some of those are in the Delphi murder case. Or white supremacist fucks use this shit. And they do. Because they took a good thing and then used them as negatives. And now they use them in gross, nasty white supremacist groups. So now if I wear my Freya shit out, people go, are you a weird, nasty white supremacist? And I have to be like, no, I'm not a gross, nasty white supremacist. I fucking hate these people so goddamn much. And so it happens throughout history. So it came from somewhere. So where did it come from? And then I'm like, for them, it might not have been bad.
No, this seems like a good/warning signal because obviously they
said it means the cycle of life was taken grossly out of context by some nasty people, but the natural cycle of life has death. And you don't get to live forever. But I could see where past the years and time and religion and beliefs and myths, someone going, I heard about the elixir of life down there. And
that's what the teacher says in episode 1. They're looking for
that teacher. He's a rat.
What they were looking for was how to the origin.
It was organisms that could help cure any
disease.
And like I said, who's really getting that?
Yeah.
Me and you? No.
No, rich people.
Right. Same thing with Westworld, which don't get me started on Westworld fighting because Ed Harris is the love of my life and HBO pulling that shit. I'm furious. But yeah, they're trying to live forever. Nobody who wants to live forever is like good. That's a nasty thing to want. It's not natural. Natural. Unnatural. That's what we're fighting here. Oh my God. She said empty coffins too. They got to be empty.
I think
they got to be empty. You said something about the kids earlier where you were like, what if it's not the babies at all? It has to be someone with the babies.
I don't know. The only reason I could say it's not anything to do with the babies and it's just a call out, not a call out, but just let's bring light to this is because that is a problem. I read with
this whole thing. I mean, if you want to back up and make the entire thing like the entire.
So I could see it just not actually.
Do you want to know what's funny? Is that that's what my Kingdom Hearts tattoo is? And
really?
No, my Kingdom Hearts tattoo. That's what it says down my leg. It says we must bring our own light into the dark. Because sometimes it gets dark, and you gotta remember there's light will always come forward. Good things will pass.
Is that not this? The whole darkness. It's going to
right. The whole theme of being at night. Light is going to get shown.
Eventually, light will come and show.
And I don't think that mining lady knows that Connolly. I think Connolly might be in trouble because I don't think she knows that he put Danvers out there on purpose. Because she says that to Hank. She's like, "Oh yeah, where'd she even come from?"
Yeah.
Connolly, you sneaky bastard. So you had to be a good cop at one point, but you're still in my Navarro boyfriend category. But the boyfriend, he's made leaps and bounds. Because I've been saying he's a scumbag from the jump.
I think Conley's just like, I don't think he's a bad cop, but I think he will just throw you under the bus because he wants to get ahead. You know, just the typical bullshit.
Stop this. This is good. Vicky said, so is Kavik's homebrew now made with toxic water and it's poison? Did the scientists drink some out on the ice before they did their polar bear plunge? Which, that's a thing. Yeah.
That's true.
Did the drink make them hallucinate and die? What if Kavik knows, like, hey, we just take this out to those scientists or a specific batch even?
What if the people are immune to his homebrew, though? Like, they can handle it.
Honestly, you brought up the drug shit. You were like, oh, meth. And how do these drugs get there? Kavik's got to be the guy. He's got to be the guy getting, like, all illegal shit in, right?
But also, what if the natives have, like, the genes to where they don't, like, trip out, maybe, because they can drink the water because they're immune, like, they're used to the shitty water. You know what I mean? Whereas you give it to the scientists and they're going to be like...
My thing is with the water is that I kind of hope that we're wrong and I'm wrong specifically about it being Batman Begins, because I think if they keep it just as polluted, fucked up water from what they're doing, like, that's a really good message right now. And like we said, Flint is still messed up. Like,
no, and that's a problem in Alaska too.
Yeah, and in Alaska. So I think it would be really cool for a show this big to just go, no, let's acknowledge that problem. And then, but the homebrew, we're using dirty water and we're using fucking drugs and shit. I guarantee you, I'm telling you, if they don't say someone do a spinal tap on those victims and they don't say they had LSD and meth, the same as Dora Lang in them, by the end of this season, I'm going to be pissed. Because that's what I think. And like I said, you don't have a giant, like I was saying you guys about film. They don't show you and tell you things or have your ears and eyes see them without it usually meaning something. To have giant bold letters say meth in the evidence room, I was like, meth will pop up in a normal drug test. LSD will not. I hope Kavik is not bad, though. Navarro, I know, and he really won me over.
Navarro's going to die, you guys. I'm sorry.
No, but Kavik, he really won me over. Because like I said, when he was like, doesn't tell her to go, and she's like, you're not going to stop me. I'm like, oh my God. It reminded me of Eric. I'm like, it's like Eric. Like, he was like, I can't stop you. So what's the point? So I know you're going to do and say whatever you want, Ab. So what is the point? And it's like, it's a great quality when someone knows. I mean, it's past that. It's someone knowing you.
Yeah.
When someone knows
they respect you as you.
They know who you are as a person, and they know, because I know you're going to run out there and fight. Well, and if it's for the right cause, it's a really noble thing. Now, if you're being stupid, you want them to go, stop being stupid. But Kavik knows this is big, and I think he knows a lot more than what he's saying. And I think that whole bar he's running, it has intel in it. I wouldn't be surprised. I agree. But I'm like, I hope he's not bad, evil. We'll use evil, but. And remember, with lady characters, we don't know what your last name is. What's your maiden name? We don't know Rose's name at all, which I think it's Mary Tuttle, or Childress. And then mining lady McKinnon, we still don't know your last name. And like I said,
I don't actually know what they're mining.
What do they do that in? They do it all the time, but they did that in something like recently. But whatever, who cares? No, Navarro does. I think you might be right about Navarro.
I think so, and I think that
might have been why she told Pete, like, besides being big sister telling little brother, you got this, she might have been like, I got her no matter what. I'll be with Danvers no matter what. Like, I'll die first. I got this. You handle this shit. And I think the acting in that few minutes is so goddamn good. When, like, just in their eyes, like when Jodie Foster's staring at Pete, like, I'm so sorry. Like,
when she's like, it's your
but also in shock, like, you just shot your dad for me.
Like, what?
It ain't like peanuts, you know what I'm saying? Like, but whatever. I don't know.
No, that's brutal. Like, you can hate your father and stuff, but to do that is right.
Because you know it's the right thing to do. Do the right thing.
Still, dude, I don't know.
I still stand by Bucket Boyfriend's got to come back into this somehow.
Something.
And then I think people are. I don't know. I don't know where, like, I'm just saying, ladies might be either those. I bet you crab cooking ladies, crab worker ladies, are some Ghislaine Maxwell's.
Probably.
I think they get girl. They might get girls in. I think we've been looking. Maybe I might rewatch a couple episodes because now I'm thinking, what are these white women doing? We don't see a lot of white women.
Quiet, and they're not answering questions.
The drunk mom.
Well, and then the drunk mom comes back again when Navarro and the little girl points at her. So the little girl is like,
oh shit, does she?
That's
when Navarro's man. Here's the funny part.
When Navarro's like crossing the street, the little kid points and says she's awake. That's the drunk mom and the little kid. I'm like 99%.
I didn't know there was a vision of Navarro seeing herself or what, but all I'm saying is, you know what is really funny is that people normally go, oh, they must not be a threat. They're a lady. That's a lady. What are they doing? So a lot of times in TV or movies that they're trying, like, we'll see them in the background maybe, but why do we care about a lady? They're no threat. But what's that big hulking guy doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And do we think we're going to get Rust Cole? Do you think we'll see him even in like a flashback, even if it's just like the back of his head or something?
I think we might get a flashback. She might. I think they might do it for us.
What if he just walks in at the end and we're like, we don't give a shit. We're back on board.
He's just like, hey, Mom. And he's coming in to see Rose. He's like, hey, Mom.
He just walks into the ice cave and just starts a monologue. It's Matthew McConaughey just doing a monologue. I would die.
He's down there just smoking a cigarette like,
yeah,
for you.
But I'm like, they made Rose look like him.
Yeah.
Like,
just the acting. Like
if her name is Mary, I swear to God, I don't want any psychic ability questioned ever again. And HBO, we need a job because I'm like, I don't even. But I'm like, if her name is Mary, the mother Mary, she's Rust's mom. Mom is fully on board with that. Mom is like 100,000%. That's what my gut tells me, and I'm like,
I could see it though. I'm with it.
Because like I said, I would lie too. I would do anything to protect my mom, especially if I was running around with cartels.
Oh yeah.
God, we did basic degenerate kid shit, and I still was like, but if you ever,
yeah, don't
and do anything you want, but never bring no shit to my mom's doorstep, because then it's done. We're donezo here. Like it's over because that's my mom, and it's like I'd be like, yeah, she ran off, and I don't know if they say I worked at the University of Texas, and that's a direct reference to not only Rust Cole but Matthew McConaughey.
Exactly.
That's his mom.
Yeah,
that's his mom for sure. For sure. But no, I'll let you go. I know you need to go to bed. Oh, good. Yeah. We're before midnight. Wait. What about Kate?
I don't think she was wired. I think she. Do you think she was wired?
Really?
She's a murderer.
Do you think she's high?
What do you? No, I think she's a murderer, but I don't think she was like.
I think she
meant wired, like bugged.
Oh.
I thought she meant like The Wire. Like, you're lucky I'm watching The Wire, dude.
I thought she meant like stimulants.
I mean, no, she
was like, I come off like I'm on stimulants all the time. And I'm like,
drugs. She wasn't high.
Oh my God, that was funny. I'm so dumb.
No, like.
Oh, I have to hear you say it. She does say it. I thought that was, that could be it, but I thought she was doubling down on saying, like, you know who the fuck's in charge.
Yeah, no, I thought she was just coming
to scare your filthy little mouth, Hank.
Yeah, no, I thought she was just coming to be like, I'm going to, like, you need to do this.
Man. I'm going to rewatch last episode. I'm going to look for white ladies, and I'm going to listen to what that lady says.
I might go too, because I bet you, that'll be my plan after The Wire.
Are you liking The Wire?
Oh, I love it. We're like halfway through season 1 already.
Okay, good. So I'm not far behind. I just watched episode 1.
Yeah, no, we're making progress.
Let me ask you
this.
I
can't watch without Rob, so.
You know our friend who acts like Pete, but way out of control. Did you get 72 texts before this live stream?
No.
72. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm gonna go figure it out. But no.
Text me, please, about that one.
She had to have that. No, exactly. She had to have,
I get it, because they did everything.
Blackmail.
Yeah.
To have blackmail on him.
But he's dead now, so.
I don't think I'm gonna say, and then I gotta go. But like I keep saying, there are like 30 fucking people in this town. Is it that hard to like? I'm sure it's easy is what I'm saying to get in. I mean, I go out to my cabin. I don't even live there, and I go into town and I'm like, oh yeah, I heard about Sherry. I heard about that affair. Yeah, Subway worker whose name I don't know, but for some reason I have info on the town.
Dude, I go up north.
People there.
I go up north and I found out at the local bar who just got Wi-Fi versus dial-up over the past week. Like that's like you because there's all bars. Like, come on, like that's the conversations. You know, everyone. They're like, oh, Wanda got.
Oh, okay. We really are done, but that just adds to our comic shit. Where it's like we're literally sitting here going, like, have you ever gone to a small town bar? Like,
oh no, that's why
come there, and they're like, oh my God, we're back for the season. Let me tell you all about Kelly.
Everything.
Right. Okay. Now everybody have a good, safe night. I'm sweating. My heater's been up way too high, and I closed the windows. I'm dying. If you can't tell, I've gotten sweatier and sweatier throughout this. But my review's up. My religion tying this all together is up. And we'll be back later this week. Thank you, Nicole, for coming out and talking to me. I know we didn't mean to do it for this long.
Oh, we're fine. No.
All right.
If you
Go watch The Wire. Everybody watch The Wire, and then everybody rewatch these episodes and look for white ladies in the background, and then report back. I really appreciate it. We really do. I really get the smartest, most articulate comments ever, and I'm like, oh my God, they're great. Like, they're great.
People
like, even if I
listening to you
great.
and me. What?
Yeah, right. No, it's I just, and things like that make me happy, especially when it's like, okay, this is that popular, and people are saying like articulate, smart. That tells me it's one of the things that gives me faith in humanity again. Where I'm like, good, we're all not total morons.
We're not the only ones that are.
We're not the only ones with sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?